If there's one box that the Indian cricket team would have wanted to be ticked ahead of their Champions Trophy semi-final was to basically get the better of the nervy moments of one of the games that they played against Bangladesh, Pakistan and New Zealand. Now, if we talk about Bangladesh and Pakistan, well, that in pretty much the case was India sealing comfortable wins. But then against New Zealand, even though India won by 44 runs, there were a lot of nervy moments that the Indian cricket team was really able to overcome. We'll talk about 30 for 3. They were at one stage, but then it was Shreyas Iyer, Akshar Patel, and towards the end, it was Hardik Pandya who made sure that India got to a more than a respectable total. And if we talk about the bowling, at one stage, New Zealand were cruising pretty much in the chase while being 132 for 3 with more than 19 overs left. But then it was a special show by Varun Chakaravarthy that made sure India made it 3 in 3 in the group stages of the Champions Trophy, and for sure it has left their captain Rohit Sharma very happy ahead of their all-important semi-final versus Australia. So let's just see what he had to say about India's performance versus New Zealand in their third and final group game of the 8-team tournament. Well, Rohit Sharma, he said that we played a perfect game. I thought we got to a good total after being 30 for 3 at one stage. Credit to bowlers who restricted a very good New Zealand team. Now, if we talk about New Zealand's team here, well, they did not really get off to a great start. Rachin Ravindra also played a very careless shot, but in the middle overs, it was Kane Williamson who was holding up one end, and at one stage, it did look like that India would have a big fight from the Kiwis here. But then that wasn't really to be the case, because the Indian spinners, they stepped up to the plate. They took a total of 9 wickets and made sure that India won the game comfortably towards the end by 44 runs. And despite having all those nervy moments, India managed to make sure that they booked their place in the semi-final. Obviously, they'd done it earlier, but then now they are going to go into the semis unbeaten. Now, word on Varun Chakravarthy, well, he made his comeback to the ODI team earlier against England in January this year, and now he was drafted into the Champions Trophy squad. Well, several asked whether he would get a game or whether India should have picked an extra pacer here, but then that wasn't really to be the case. India picked an extra spinner against New Zealand, and it was Chakravarthy, and he made sure that he picked a 5-wicket haul. And Rohit Sharma, he sang praises for the mystery spinner. Rohit Sharma said that Varun has something different about him, so wanted to try and see what he can offer. If he gets it right, very difficult to read him. And obviously, he wasn't really turning the ball that sharp. It was just about making sure that bowling wicket to wicket, generating some kind of a drift while bowling to both the right and left-handers there. But more importantly, he was immaculate with his line and lengths, and that's one of the major reasons why he ended with a 5-wicket haul. Now India's semi-final against Australia is just about 48 hours away, and there were also questions asked from Rohit as to what could be India's possible 11 now, knowing that they played 4 spinners against New Zealand and there are no reasons to even drop a certain Varun Chakravarthy here. So Rohit said that about India's playing 11, he said, we haven't really thought much about the semi-final, but a good headache to have. Pretty much, if we try to read in between the lines, there could be a comeback of Harshit Rana, who had earlier started the tournament for India against Bangladesh and Pakistan. But then with the way Varun Chakravarthy went about his work against the Black Caps, it does look like that India might just stick with 4 spinners here. Australia have a rich history of playing well in ICC tournaments, and India would want to make sure that they win against Australia and seal a place in the final. And that's what Rohit said, that India have gotten the better of the nervous moments that they had, and now it's going to be the Aussie challenge. Well, Australia are currently depleted, but that doesn't make them any less of a side, because Australia, in any of the ICC events that they have taken part in the last few years or so, they have managed to bring their A game here. So now if we talk about, overall India's show, well, it has been exemplary to say the least. And with the way they have gone about their business in the Champions Trophy, it does look like that Australia are in for a tough time. Now in the Dubai conditions, there's one thing for sure, that this match, the semi-final, is going to be played on a fresh pitch. And Australia's Achilles heel is definitely spin. Now, obviously, India would have to counter the likes of Travis Head and Glenn Maxwell, but then Australia's weak link is their bowling, more importantly, their spin department, because they do not really have any support for Adam Zampa. So there could be an addition of a Tanveer Sangha. There's obviously Glenn Maxwell. The doubts over Matt Shot's participation, but still that means Australia would still have round about 30 odd overs of spin, provided Travis Head also bowls more. There could be 35 or 36. So, but to counter that kind of an Aussie spin challenge, India have all bases covered, and they have pretty much displayed it in their 3 games of the Champions Trophy so far. So what do you think about Rohit Sharma's comments on Varun Chakravarthy, and what do you think about India's 11? Should they go in with an unchanged side against Australia in the semi-final, or should they look to bring in either Arshdeep Singh or Harshit Rana? You can let us know your thoughts in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe to Sports Today for all the exciting updates and analysis from the sporting world.